Hi YouTube. So yes, I haven't changed my intro like I said I would. Don't worry, we are still working on that catchy vibing intro. So you're welcome to the episode 3 of the GEMP series, and today I'm at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. This is the headquarters of everything medical school in the University of Ghana and the headquarters of the graduate entry medical program. Very soon I'll be going through these gates to talk to some of my colleagues on their journey into medical school, some of the challenges that they had, and most importantly, some of their tips that helped them secure their spots in the graduate entry medical program. But before I go, if you're on this journey with me, don't forget to like this video, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe, and of course, share the video. I think I left something out. Yes, share the video. So, ladies and gentlemen, come with me. Let's go talk to the GEMPITES. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, your name?
My name is David Franz, and I'm a GEMP student, the class of 2024.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, class of 2024. All right, so guys, you must know he came all the way. He's on vacation actually. He came all the way to do this video. So you should tell how much we want you guys to have all the necessary tips for this program. All right, so now we're going to go right into it. So first of all, what was the most important part of the whole GEMP application for you?
Okay, the most important part is application form. You know, if you don't do the application form, you cannot even start the whole process. So I think usually it starts in November, somewhere around November thereabout. So when I got my application form, I was so excited, trying to fill everything, put everything in place, and after that I think you'll be called on to but after the whole filling of the form, you have your confidence in you and everything. Then you submit your form, and when you send your bank statement and they call you, that is when you know that yes, I've started the whole thing. Exactly.
All right, so yeah, so the excitement starts right from when you pick up your form. All right, so what were some of the tips that you think helped you to get into this program?
Okay. Okay, I applied in 2019, and I also applied in 2020. I didn't get in 2019. So 2019 I didn't know anything about GEMP. I just came in. I think it was the October that I got to know anything about GEMP. Then November the forms came out, so I had to pick a form. I didn't make any prior arrangement studies or anything, but I came in here, and they were having the access course. So I was always coming to the access course. I was coming all the way from Kaswa. I leave early in the morning, come here. Then after the class, I stay back, because if I leave immediately there'll be traffic. I stay back at this library over here, and do read till around 10, because by 10 the traffic will be low. So I go home around 10, get home like around 11, 12, and sleep, wake up early at around 4, come back. So that's what I was doing. Wow. And I think that for the first time, the first time I also passed the exams. Yes. It was the interview that, things came. So I think for the first time, that was what helped me, because I was staying back and studying. And the second time, I already had a, experience. Yes. So we're coming with our chest,
Your full chest. Okay.
We're coming with our chest to know that this one there we've done the first one, even that we didn't even know anything about. Actually, didn't know that we'd be writing logic and reasoning. Yes. So when I sat behind the paper, that was when I saw a logic question. That was the first time. So I was like, logic and reasoning. So I just used my head, and I actually passed the first time. So I knew that the second time, no matter what happened, I was already in there. So I think the main tip is about the constant studying.
Okay.
It's a fast-paced thing. It's the information is a lot, but you have to finish it up in a very short time. Yeah. A friend of mine gave an analogy that the GEMP program, the access course is like they are giving you your favorite food, like 20 plates of your favorite food, finish in 2 minutes.
It's true, Charlie.
So if it's your favorite food, but you can't finish it in 2 minutes, but you can do something without 2 minutes. It's a lot of information, but you should be able to get everything in that few, I think, how many, 2 weeks or so?
Yeah, it was 2 weeks. Yeah. So if I'm getting you right, your main strategy was study. Study. Okay. So do you think the access course is worth it? Is it worth it?
Okay, to some extent, like it's I like a 50-50 thing. You know, the access course, it gives you the opportunity to, you know, get back on track. You know, some of us, we've been at home for like 2 years. We've not even read any book, so it gives you the opportunity to get back on track. But the information that you have to process in that short period of time is a lot. I'm saying it again, it's
A lot.
But the thing is that when you are able to pass it, it gives you that confidence that no matter what happens, you can, you know,
me too. A day.
You can tackle it like a day form and all that. Like, but that's the good part of it. But the bad part of it is that, you know, some people get, you know, depressed and all that when they can't pass and all that. I have a friend who has tried for about 3 times and he has not got in. And anytime I speak to him, you can feel that he's down, he's down and everything. And that's the sad part of it. If you are not able to, you know, push your way through because of the quantum of information that you are being given at that short period of time, you might easily, you know, go into depression and feel sad even before you even write your exam, because you know that you've not covered this whole lot and you are now going to write an exam. So it doesn't give you that. I think if they break it down, pick just like important topics that we need to know and just let's say write the exam on that would be cool. But if it's like, oh, we have to learn this
in a very long time, well, let's see how it goes. So any words for our viewers? Any last words for any GEMP applicants?
Okay, my last words is that, you know, as my favorite quote goes, hope make it not ashamed, or that is in the King James version, but the normal one is hope never disappoints. Hope never disappoints. So, you know, when you put your heart into something, you should make sure that you go for it, because you might think, oh, this is going to be how many years, 4 years, maybe more than that. But when you don't start, the years are still going, the time is still going. So it's better to start when it's necessary, so that by the time you finish, at least you have confidence in yourself that at least I started this thing. A lot of people are hoping to do things, but they are not yet doing them because they feel like, oh, I would start.
Exactly.
Start now. Start today.
Start now. Start today. So that's how we end this segment. Thank you so much for coming. Hey, let's do it. Hey, okay. Love. All right. Bye. Okay. Thank you. Bye. All right, sure. So, Alex, what was the most challenging part of the whole application process for you?
Okay, I think it was the access course. Because it was a whole new routine, getting up in the morning, going to class. I think it was from 7 to 5 or something. It was like very lengthy, and I can't sit at one place for a long time. So I had a little bit of issues here and there. I had to take a break every once in a while. I think we had a break or 2 breaks or something, but I actually took extra breaks because I can't sit down for that long. That was basically it. And I feel there were so many things. I'm like, what? Today we are doing anatomy, today we are doing biology, today we are doing English. I'm like, what do we have to do all of these for just medicine? But I feel in the long run it's been worth it. So,
exactly. Yeah. But wait, you're a shackle. You were able to take breaks during access course.
No, because I can't be attentive for like more than 2 hours. It's not possible for me.
Now I'm curious. What exactly were you doing during the breaks?
Oh no, I can just go stand outside for like 5 minutes and just come back in.
Okay, yeah, that works too. Reactivate your mind. Exactly. Okay, so now we are going to the main point, which is the tips that you believe helped you to get into the program. So can you share some with us?
Okay. I believe the first thing is God. God. The God factor is very important, because at the start of this whole thing, so after my biochemistry degree, I was working. I did my national service. I was working, and I wanted to do this whole medical school thing. At a point, I was like, nah, I'm not even going to apply.
Yeah.
Because I know there was this guy ahead of me in when I was in Lake on biochemistry. He had a first class, and I think he actually applied for this GEMP thing. He didn't get it.
Humble you.
So I actually told my dad, I was like, me, I don't go fit, so I can't. Like, I'm not cut out for this. I told my parents, no, I can't do this. I think during the second week of the access course, I actually called him. I'm like, you know what, I'm coming home because I don't think I'll pull. So my dad just kept on saying, you can't do it. My mom just kept on saying, you can't do it. You can't do it. Just psych your mind. You can't do it. Yeah, they didn't make it. You would make it. So don't worry. I'm like, hey, me and my second class.
First class, can you make it?
But yeah, by God's grace, I made it. And another thing was that I think we had the materials before the whole course, the whole access course.
Yeah.
So what we did was, what a friend and I did was that before every class, so maybe if we have biology the next day or whatever, we just go through what we have to do.
Okay.
Just try and go through. Even if we don't understand, we just go through.
Yeah.
So when it's being taught, like, it's not new information to you. You've actually seen it before, and you're like, okay, you've seen, oh, okay. So it just gets you saying, oh, okay, this is what this meant. And it actually flows. So just try to go over what was done in the day and try to go through what will be done the next day. That really helped us. Yeah. And group studies, even in GEMP.
Yes.
Group studies is like key. Like, you can't do it on your own. The information was like a lot. So I think group studies also helped me. Like, I had a study group, and we came together. Everybody will like bring ideas, would teach you how to learn something in a certain way, and you'd be good. So basically,
so those were the three things.
Yeah.
So first, the God factor, and then also learning before you go into the lecture, and then revising everything that you learned that day as well. And then lastly, group study. Group study. Three-pronged approach.
And even when you come, even when you get into GEMP, group study is
they.
Because you can't do it on your own. The volume of information is a lot.
A whole lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so lastly, look into the camera over there. Any words of inspiration or anything you want to tell any of the applicants who are watching this video?
Oh, I just want to say that you can do it. Don't underestimate yourself. Don't undermine yourself. Like, you have so much potential. And even though I had so much potential, like, before I got into this program.
Yeah.
So don't think you can't do it. You can do it. Like, everything is possible with God. So go for it.
Go for it. So everything is possible with God. So Alex, it's been really nice having you. Would you believe we just met like for the first time today? All right, thank you so much. All right, bye. Okay, hi.
Hello.
What's your name?
I'm Felicity.
What class are you?
What class are we in? Final year of
2023. Really, I'm posting everything. I'm not cutting this video.
UGMS.
It's okay. She's Felicity. That's all.
I'm a medical school class of 2023. I'm a medical. Jesus Christ.
Okay.
I'm a medical student.
She's a medical student. So listen to her tips. They work. Okay. All right. So we are going to go straight into it.
Yeah.
No. But before that, what was the most what experience do you remember from your application for medical school?
I think for the application, I was wondering why they wanted that bank statement. Like, so if my father doesn't have money, I can't come to medical school. I was like, yeah, that was just 6 months. There's just 6 months. Banks. I think that was the experience, and I had to get what's the reference letters. But me, I was a teacher's pet, so that wasn't a problem.
Go the pet. Go the pet. Is it snake or rat? Okay, all right. So I thought you were going to mention when I stole your check.
No, but that wasn't part of the application. That is a different problem. That I'll forget that.
You'll never forget.
I'll never forget that.
Because I didn't steal a check. It was my brother's check.
You stole the check. You told me that you came the previous evening to come and book the check.
Yeah.
Like, who does that?
You gotta be wise in the game. Okay, so share with us some of the tips that helped you get into the GEMP program.
Oh, tips. I feel like getting into the GEMP program was more of grace than tips because I didn't really know anything about the GEMP program. When, access course, I didn't have any, but people were doing group studies and other. I was on my own with my friends. We were three squads, so we are just there myself. So like, well, we just come to class and just go and just read our notes. There was no tips. I didn't get any tips from anybody in particular. I feel like it was just grace. I was looking at the people we were with. Some people were physician assistants, midwives, nurses. Some of us we just did biology. How is biology related to medicine? But it was God's grace that got us into GEMP. I think that's the most important thing.
So that's your tip, God's grace.
God's grace.
Exactly.
And my mother's prayers.
It's your so those of us who are mothers don't prefer, go and call your mother or call anybody, your family members,
My medical
your haters and
my
lovers.
mother's prayers.
Please.
Because me, I don't pray.
God, let them start praying for you. Okay, so you heard it from Felicity. But aside the grace factor, do you have any advice for anybody who is watching this video hoping to get into the program?
I feel like outside the grace factor, I just believe in yourself. Because I remember when we came for the access course, you meet people like the likes of my midwife solving physics questions and all those things. Wow, I'm just sitting in the class. I don't even understand what is going on, but I feel like I just had this hope in myself. I believed in myself that I can do it. The fact that someone does physician assistantship and I did biology doesn't mean the person is better than me. Me too. I did something.
You did something.
So
now.
just believe in yourself. I'm sure you are a very good student in your undergrad. So you can do it.
You can. All right. So basically, that's what she said. It's a grace thing. Okay, your prayers have to be up, and then secondly, believe in yourself. Like confidence is so important.
It's very important
in the access course and even in the GEMP.
In medical school in general, you need that confidence factor because sometimes you are supposed to let them know that me too, I did something.
Exactly. So those are her points for us. Thank you so much for coming.
Welcome.
She was my first friend in GEMP
because she stole my chair.
In fact, she was my first enemy, and then we ended up. I even forgot, and then we ended up becoming.
Actually, let me tell you the truth. I prayed for you to get. I said, God, if I'm getting to GEMP, let this girl get into GEMP because I have to remind her. And the funny thing is that the first day she took her chair from the back of the class, put it by me.
I didn't even realize it was
like, hey, you again. I meant you.
Yeah.
Ultimate.
So it's great. So all the best in your applications, and then we'll see you. Bye. Yes. Hello.
Hi.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So yes. This man right here, I'll not even let him introduce himself. Okay. I want to introduce him. This is Pastor Emmanuel. Final year. Are we here? Final year?
Yeah,
we are final years. Yeah. So final year of medicine. So year 4 of GEMP. Standing right here. He's been a big support to me since I started this medical program, everything. Trust me, my story in this school, I always talk about my story. When I'm done, I'll tell the story and I'll tell you the role that he has really played in my story in this school. So this is Pastor Emmanuel, and then he's come to share with us some tips that he took to get into the graduate entry medical program. Yeah, so first of all, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Is there anything you want to add to the introduction?
I think the introduction was great.
Okay, so we're going right into it. But before that, there's a question I asked everyone.
Okay.
And it's, what was the most challenging part of the whole application for you?
Well, my most challenging part has to do with, I think, securing a letter that would validate my NSS completion.
Okay.
Yes, I found it difficult to actually secure a letter because I think we were just done and the certificates were not in, and as part of the application you need an NSS certificate to validate. So I think I had to write a couple of letters to my where I was working, the administrator, so he had to write a letter for me to bring. So I didn't bring an NSS certificate. I got a letter.
Wow. You had to bring a letter. Okay. So, but what do you think you could have done to probably make that less of a challenge? Or
I think I should have written to the NSS secretariat.
Yes.
Okay, so that they would have probably maybe facilitated the process for me. Yes, but I didn't do. But everything went as planned, so I'm okay.
We are here now to the main meat of why we are here. What were some of the tips that helped you get into the program?
Okay, I think with GEMP, you already know the process. The process, you submit your application.
Yes.
And after you submitted your application, you are enrolled in a 2-week access course.
Yes.
And then after the access course, you write an entrance exam where you go through the first 100 or so during your time. When you go through the first, you make it, then you are called for interview.
Yes.
And then after that, you are admitted.
Exactly.
I think what helped me was during the access course. The access course, I was moving from Wager to, Kolebu, and it was difficult for me.
Yes.
From Wager, Kolebu, we start from 8 to 5.
Yes.
You go home, you are tired, you have to sleep, wake up early in the morning and come. I think what helped me was the fact that I came in fresh from undergrad.
Yeah.
And so most of the knowledge I had accumulated were still fresh in my head. And I could do, and I came from biochemistry. And most of the things that we were doing.
Biochem, when we were seeing stars, they were answering all the questions and we were like,
Next, I read biochemistry.
Charlie.
So I came in with biochemistry, and during our time, I think a lot of the questions and stuff were coming from biochemistry, so it favored me. Favored me. It's not now. Now I think they've reduced
pharmacology,
the burden of
everything.
Now it's pharmacology and all that. So that was what helped me coming in fresh, coming in fresh from school.
Oh, okay. Yes, so your tips were mainly coming fresh from school, so you were already exposed to the whole learning, and you didn't have to really learn, and also your program also favored you. Biochemistry favored him, so he remembered things from undergrad. So when you are coming, don't leave the things you have learned in undergrad there. Bring them on board. Everything on board for the access course, and then also for GEMP. Yes, so but there was a conversation we had some time ago, and you spoke about the fact that it seems like in our class, everybody who came into the program had probably received a prophecy or was part of their destiny to probably do medicine. Do you think that's the general impression of the whole medical course, or it was just specific to our class?
Well, I would say that we cannot take away the God's protocol.
Yes.
Okay? In every generation, there is a protocol of God in there.
Exactly.
And for every batch of student that comes, you would see that there are people that came in out of the intelligence that they had. There are others that came out of the secular protocol they had. And there are those of us who came in with God's protocol. So I think that, because if I want to share my story, you would see that there's definitely a factor of God in there. Because I didn't know anybody. Legon, I had not been to Legon before. KN is right from Kumasi to Accra, and I've not even worked on the campus of Legon. Kolebu, I've been passing here, but I didn't know much about Kolebu and all that. So not knowing anybody, applying and still being able to go through, I feel like it was fated. I knew how I got in there, because I knew that it was an awareness of me to come here. I remember during our time, the access course, there was this very intelligent, and the guy was really intelligent. The guy, I found out that he had first class in his undergrad. He was very intelligent. I could attest to the fact. But somehow I felt like this guy may not be part of the cut. You know,
you just felt
I just felt it. And so I was telling a colleague of mine that I came from NSS with, and then and I was telling her that I don't think this guy would actually be called. And it was like, this guy, we should cry for our own. So I said, yes, it's true, we should cry for, but I have this feeling like the guy is not supposed to be in Legon. He is supposed to be somewhere
prophetic.
Yes. And so it happened that he passed the entrance exam. He went through. He came for the interview also, but somehow he was not picked.
Wow.
I mean, most of the people that knew him were shocked that they didn't pick him, but they picked second class student. I think our cut was second class lower.
Yeah, second class lower.
They picked second class lower, but they didn't pick a first class student. He is now in UCC anyway. He's doing medicine. Maybe he was fated to be there. But so I believe that there is a faith component in this whole medicine and all that we also need to look at. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. So finally, so you've heard it. There's the God protocol. There's the faith component. Okay, it's not all about education or first class or what you know or who you know. Sometimes it's also about God. If God has this part of your destiny that you'd be in the medical school within Kolebu, so that's a tip that you have to know. Finally, let's look into the camera there.
Okay.
There may be an applicant who is watching this video right now. Do you have any words of encouragement or any advice for that person?
Well, I have, let me say, 3 things that you need to consider.
Okay.
Number 1, consider timing. Timing is very important. I think that if the timing is right, the Bible says in its time He makes all things beautiful.
Exactly.
It means that you may not have all the documents, you may not have all the process,
yes.
I mean the way other people are having it, but
yes.
certainly you will be selected.
Amen.
So timing is very important, your timing for coming. And then the second thing, pray. Because I realized through our process that the only part of the entire process that requires intelligence is your entrance exam. If we should grade it, then it's intelligence.
Yes.
But for the interview, people sitting down looking at you, not even about what you are saying and answering.
Yes.
Some people receive questions you can even ask, what question, what kind of question is this? But you could see that there is a selection process that was going on. So you need to pray, and you need to be very determined. Don't give up on first try. Don't give up on second try. If only you want to do, push and you will get there. Amen. I believe I'm just hoping and expecting to see you with us here.
Oh,
and I can't wait to have you here.
I can't wait to. Yeah. I really can't wait. So timing, then there's prayer, and then determination. Don't forget all these things. Are we ready? Yes. Okay, so hello. What's your name?
I'm Priscilla.
Priscilla, class of
2025.
Okay, class of 2025. I'm here with Priscilla. Yay! So she's going to be sharing with us some of the tips that she used to secure her position in the GEMP program page. Okay, so but first of all, a question I like to ask: what's the most challenging part of the whole GEMP application for you?
Okay, for me, the most challenging part was getting my recommendation letters because I didn't ask my lecturers early enough, so I still had to squeeze some time to write one for me. Yes, but eventually I got it and I used it for my application.
That's it. So you know that's the first tip there. Work on your document early. Yeah. Okay, so then now tell us your tips that you used.
Okay, so as you said earlier, work on your documents early. Before I came, I asked a friend who was already here. Okay. And he told me if your documents are not intact, you won't even be considered for the access course. Yeah. So I wrote it down. I had a list of it. So anytime I had one ready, I just take it. And then double check. I was telling someone this. Double check if you have everything in the envelope when you are bringing the hard copies. Because I did that. I double checked. But later I received a call that my certificate wasn't part, my undergrad certificate. I was like, I checked, it was in it. And they're like, oh, it's not here. We are checking your envelope now. I'm like, wow. So I had to come back to Kolebu and bring another one. Wow. Yeah, so double check. And then you're supposed to upload some documents to it. It wasn't required, but I added them, my personal statement and then my CV.
Okay.
I feel like that can give you an upper hand or something. And then I had 2 WASI certificates. I wrote WASI twice.
Okay.
Yes.
Hey.
So I used both. Maybe someone may think that maybe the second one was better than the first, so use that one. I didn't want to take any chances. Yeah. But the first one, my chemistry was bad. I made a mistake in my chemistry practical, so it affected my results. So I used both. For the application, and then your undergrad results to it as well. I think here you add everything you think you need to add, just add it to it. Don't double think, oh, maybe this isn't necessary. If you think it's important to you, it's an important document of yours, just add it to it. So that if you add a hard copy, they might reject it at the office. But then when you're uploading it, that one is based on your own discretion. There was a portion called others. And so I uploaded all those things there. Yes, I think that was it. And once you decide that you want to come and read GEMP, you might have asked about it and then heard about some of the programs you do at the access course. So I advise that you start reading on them early. For me, I wanted to write GRE, so I was already reading math and English.
Okay.
So I think that also helped. When I came for the 2-week access course, I channeled my energies on the other ones. Yeah, the other courses, so that I wouldn't have to learn all those other ones, like approaching the same time for all those ones. There are other difficult ones. Someone might say English is difficult, math is difficult, but to me, I feel those ones are the easiest. Yes. So for the access course and then the 1 week extra we had, I didn't really learn English and math. Just pay attention in class, and then if you've already studied it, it should be okay for you. And then focus on your cell biology, molecular biology.
Yes.
So for that one, I spent most of my time doing that. And then the physics. Well, someone might advise you not to learn physics because the questions are few and all that. But then you might be surprised when you're like, oh, these questions I could have answered them.
Exactly.
So just don't spend all your time doing the physics, but then try and understand
what is
and know the formula.
Yes.
Those ones are very important. And then the examples the lecturer uses in class.
True.
But sometimes he repeats them in the exam. So even if you don't remember how to solve it, just remember the answers. If you are lucky, you get some 2 or 3 questions from the class, and then you get something to share.
Exactly.
So you know that for physics, you are not getting 0. Okay. But then focus more on English. Don't forget about it. Though I'm saying don't use all your time for it. It's very important because I think it takes a chunk of the marks to English, math, the molecular biology.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I did.
Solid tips. So first one, get your documents early. Secondly, before you submit, make sure you cross-check. The third one, I like it very much, strategic learning. Okay, you have to know where your strengths are, what you need to work more on. And then also our last point here, which was with regards to the questions that are solved in class, is part of the strategic learning. So make sure that you pay attention and everything so that you get at least some few tips from chronic knowledge.
And
all right,
another one.
Yes.
If you live far from Kolebu, try and get closer to Kolebu. If you are attending the access course, because I live in Tema, and then the first 2 days I had to come from home, and it was really stressful. You have to leave home early because of traffic, and then you close late. You get home late. You can't learn. If you want to come from home, if you live far, you can't learn. You just use all the time for commuting from home to school and then back, and you won't have any time to study. So if you know anyone around, you can just beg them that just for 2 weeks you want to come and stay with them. Maybe on weekends you can go home, but then during the week you should be around.
Finally, any last words for any applicant who is watching this video? Anything that you want to tell them?
Yeah. So what I would say is believe in yourself, and then once you've decided to apply for the GEMP program, you should believe that you can make it. Yes. And then there's something my mom always says, all those you look up to are people just like you, just that they were committed to what they wanted, and then they worked at getting what they wanted, yes, at achieving their aim and their goals, yes. So once you make it, I hope you do into the GEMP program, you should study well, like know what to do. You shouldn't I wouldn't say you shouldn't. Okay, you should put some things on hold, yes, and then focus on your studies. You can go back to them during your vacation and all that, but just work hard towards your books and do well, and then pray as well. Very important.
Very important.
Yes.
So work hard.
God.
Yes. Don't forget God. So work hard and then pray as well. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Maya. All right, so to you guys, bye-bye. Yes, so this has been an exciting episode. You've heard it from the GEMPITES themselves on tips that they use to secure their positions in this prestigious program. So now it's time to go off. But before I go off, let me drop my points with you as well. So my tips. My first tip is get a senior, someone who is already in the program, to serve as a mentor for you. Okay, it helps with you getting advice and also asking questions to clarify any confusions that you may have. So try and then get someone. If you don't know anyone before coming, at least when you start the access course, you try and then talk to any of the seniors who are already in the program. And also secondly, yes, it has been rehashed by all my colleagues, which is to move as close to campus as possible. Okay, if possible, try and then rent some place to for the duration of the access course, okay, to help you so that you don't spend so much time commuting to and then from class. And finally, my last point is I am a positive person. I'm a firm believer of, if you feel you have to do it, just do it. Reason is, when I was applying for this program, I hadn't done my national service. And I was advised so many times, so many people advised me that then probably I should go and do my national service before coming to apply for the program. And I was torn, but I decided to do it anyway. And look at me, I'm here. So probably you might watch my videos and realize that your documents may not be adequate, whatsoever the case may be. If you feel in your heart that this is what you have to do, okay, you've heard about the God protocol. If you feel in your heart that this is what you have to do, just do it. Just take the step and then apply anyway. All right, so these are my tips, and I hope you've enjoyed the episode as much as I enjoyed filming it for you. And thank you to all my colleagues who came onto this program, and thank you for watching up to this point. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share the video to anybody who would need this information. Thank you, and bye-bye.